Hello dear students. In my last video, we have studied about the taxonomical hierarchy, taxonomical categories and the taxonomic classification of different organisms. We have seen how an organism can be grouped into a particular species, then genus, then your class, family, order, phylum or division, kingdom and so on. So in a particular manner we are going to be giving the organism their particular groups or taxonomic categories. This we have seen in my last video. Today we are going to be dealing with the last part of the unit 1, the living world, that is taxonomical aids. First, to go within what is taxonomical aids, first let us understand what do you mean by this aids. Aids is nothing but a help. When we are talking about the first aid when we are talking first help that is given to a person. In the same manner, here aid refers to nothing but help. When we are taking the help, we are going to be calling it as the aid. Taxonomical aid. Taxonomical aid means this is going to be the help to record the taxonomical things. Means that to record the different type of organisms, to record their classification, to record to which taxonomic group they are belonging to record all this taxonomical knowledge or taxonomical discoveries, there has to be something which keeps a record of all this, and that is known as the taxonomical aids. Now, for your study, you are going to be having 9 types of taxonomical aids. First one is going to be a herbarium. Second, botanical gardens. Third, zoological parks. Fourth, museum. Fifth, key. Sixth, flora. Seventh, manuals. Eighth, monographs. And the ninth one, that is your catalogues. So these are going to be the taxonomical aids, or these are going to be the help taken, or these are going to be helping you to keep a record of the taxonomical hierarchy and the different organisms belonging to different taxonomical categories. Let us study each one of them in detail. Coming to the first one, the herbarium. Herbarium is nothing but it is going to be a storehouse of the plant species, not the animals. It is the storehouse of the plant species. How they are storing it? In the herbarium, the plant species means not the complete plant or the complete plant they are not storing, but you can take a branch, as you can see over here. A branch or a small stem of the plant they are taking. They are going to be dried, then pressed and preserved on sheets like you can see over here. So the plant is some part of the plant is going to be taken, it is dried and then it is pressed and it is pasted on or preserved on a sheet of paper like you can see over here. And then these are going to be arranged according to the universally accepted classification, that is your binomial classification. These herbarium sheets are going to be having all the information about the plant, like the date, place of collection, that is from where this plant species they have got that date and place of collection. Then the name of the plant in English, local, and also their botanical name. What that plant is called in English, what that plant is called there in the local language, and what is the botanical name. Botanical name is nothing but the 2 names given according to the binomial nomenclature, according to the universally accepted classification. What name, scientific name is given, that is known as the botanical name. Then the family is written, and also who has collected, that is collector's name, is going to be written in a box below the specimen. A box is made there, and there all the information about this collected species is going to be written, and this is going to be preserved, and after many days also this is going to be like that only, and whenever they want to refer it, they can refer it. So that is going to be a herbarium. Then coming to the second one is a botanical garden. In the herbarium, the plants are not going to be living. They are going to be dried and pressed and preserved on sheet. But in the botanical gardens, we can see that these are specialized gardens having collection of living plants for reference and identification. So these are going to be the special type of gardens, you can say, wherein specified plants are going to be grown and they are going to be preserved over there, taken care after. Your living plant species or whole plant species are going to be preserved. Here each plant is labeled with its botanical name and family. You can see that each of the plant is going to be having a board over it, which is going to be having its botanical name and the family written for the identification. Example of some famous botanical gardens are Royal Botanical Garden at Kew, which is in England. Talking about India, India is having two well-known botanical gardens, large and beautiful. That is Indian Botanical Garden, which is at Howrah in West Bengal, India, and then National Botanical Research Institute, which is located in Lucknow. These three are famous botanical gardens. The picture you can see here is going to be one from National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow. Coming to the next one is a biological museum. The third one, biological museum. Many of you must have already visited a museum. How a biological museum is there? Here, biological museum is nothing but it is a collection of preserved plant and animals for study and reference. When the college starts, you can visit our college laboratory. We are having a small biological museum in biology department also. Herein we can see that the animals and plants are not living, but you can say dead. They are artificially preserved. So it is a collection of preserved plants and animals for study and reference. You can see over here, these are going to be the stuffed animals which are preserved in a museum, and here you can see how the plants are going to be preserved. Herein, what all the museum contains? A museum contains specimens preserved in preservative solutions in containers or jars. We can see that there are certain specimens. For example, you can take your starfish or a prawn, or you can take a fish or any carp, or you can take a shark, small shark. All these specimens, if you are keeping it outside, they are getting decayed. So what they are doing, these smaller specimens, they are preserving in jars with preservative solutions like formaldehyde, which will prevent the decaying of the organism, and you can look at the organism as if it is going to be alive, but it is dead and preserved in solution, and they are stored in containers or jars. Then you can see dried specimens of plants and animals. Here an example, here dried species, these are going to be the dried species of plants and animals which are found in the museum. Apart from that, you can see that there are insects preserved in insect boxes after collecting, killing and pinning them. So different type of insects are collected, they are killed, and then they are pinning it into an insect box. because insects are going to be very delicate. If you are going to be not keeping it into the proper boxes, their wings or their legs can break. So they are preserved in proper insect boxes. Then the museum also contains stuffed larger animals like birds and mammals. Here you can see there are some birds. This is a large mammoth that you can see. So these type of animals, larger animals, are stuffed with wax or other things, and they are made to look alive. It also contains the collection of animal skeletons. Hence, a museum contains the specimens preserved in preservative solutions, then dried specimens, then insects in insects boxes, stuffed larger animals, and also the animal skeleton. So this is about the biological museum. Coming to the next one is a zoological park. Zoological park is nothing but the normal zoos that you visit. If talking about Belgaum, you can see one at the Butramati, you are having a small zoo which is created, that is a zoo. Or famous one, you can take the zoological park that is present in Mysore. So these zoological parks are present actually to protect and study the wild animals. So zoological parks are nothing but places where live wild animals, again here living wild animals, are kept in protected environments under human care. So humans are taking care of them, and under protected environment the wildlife are kept. This helps to learn about their food habits and behavior. That is, to study their food habits and behavior, we are keeping them in protected environment and under the human care. This also helps to protect the wild animals to some extent. Next one is the key. Key is an analytical method. Now herein we are talking about the methods now. Here key is an analytical method of identification of organisms based on similarities and dissimilarities. Let us consider an example. Here, suppose I am taking one organism. I have discovered one organism. To study, I first study the character of this organism. This organism, is it having dry skin? Yes or no? If it is a no, then this one is left. It is not having dry skin, so it cannot be a amphibian, or it cannot belong to the frog family or a salamander family. Then what it is having? It is a dry skin, yes. So if it is yes, is it having hair on the body? If it is having hair on the body, then it comes to the next. If no, again this is rejected. Then next character is studied. If it is having opposable thumb, it is having a separate thumb. If no, then this organism is rejected. If it is having an opposable thumb, then next character is studying. Is it bipedal? Means is it walking on two legs or is it walking on four legs? It is walking on two legs. So when it is having dry skin, it is having hair, it is having opposable thumb, it is bipedal, then it is a human. So in this manner, based upon the similarities and dissimilarities, this is dissimilar, so this goes on rejecting. This is similar, so this is going on accepting. So based on this contrasting character saying yes or no, based upon such things, when they are going to be identifying the organism, it is going to be called as a key. It is a method, analytical method for the identification of the organism based on the similarities and dissimilarities. Here it is based on the contrasting character, generally in a pair called couplet, means in a yes no manner, generally in a pair, it is having not having. So this form is going to be called as a couplet, contrasting pair of character. Then each couplet has two opposite options. Of these, only one or only relevant option is accepted and the other is rejected. That is what I told you. These are rejected. Each statement in the key is called the lead. So each of the statement, this one, each of the statement of the key is going to be called as what? Lead. Then coming to the next one, here is going to be the flora. What is a flora? Flora is nothing but it is the actual account of habitat and distribution of plant species of a given area. So in a given area, which plant species are there? Where they are, how they are present, what is the distribution, how is the distribution. When we are studying those things, it is known as flora. Flora technically is a word used for the plants. Here are some examples. You can say flora is nothing but a type of a book written on the habitat and distribution of plants. Like here you can see flora of Himalaya. So plants present in the Himalayan ranges. In this manner, these are going to be called as the flora. Then coming to the next one is going to be a manual. Manuals are also written books. Manuals are the record that contain information for identification of names of species found in an area. Now here these can be plants or animals. They are similar to the flora, but here flora is only about the plants and manual are going to be about the identification, general identification, information of identification of names of species found in an area. Here we were studying about the plants, so habitat and distribution we are studying, how they are distributed. Whereas in manuals, we are going to be studying the identification of names of species found in that area. Then coming to the next is going to be a monograph. Monograph is nothing but these are records that contain information on any one taxon only on a single taxon. In the last video we have studied what is a taxon. Taxon is going to be the rank in a particular taxonomic hierarchy. The plural is going to be taxa. For example, species is one taxa. Genus is another taxa. So a category or a rank present in the taxonomic hierarchy is going to be called as taxon. So only on a particular taxa when a book is written, it is going to be called as a monograph. Mono means one. The last one here is a catalogue. Catalogue is nothing but it is an alphabetical list of species. Alphabetically, the name of species is going to be listed in this book known as the catalogue. So this is going to be about the taxonomical aids. We have studied here 9 taxonomical aids and those are going to be the herbarium, wherein the dried specimens of plants are pressed and stored. Botanical gardens, here living plants are grown. Zoological parks, here living animals are taken care, wild animals. Museum, here dead plant and animal species are kept. Key is going to be wherein it is an identification analytical method based on the similarities and dissimilarities. Then flora is going to be identification or studying of the distribution of the plants in a given area. Manuals are similar to flora, but here identification of species is written. Monograph gives the information of a particular taxon, and catalogues are going to be giving you the alphabetical order of the species. So these are going to be the taxonomical aids. With this, we end your lesson, that is the living world. Complete the notes and keep them ready. Herein, these 4 videos that I have sent, these are from the same lesson, that is the living world. Today we are ending the living world.